And welcome back. Herman Cain, you've seen him rise in the polls, especially after all these debates. And one of the biggest reasons for his rise in popularity is his 999 proposed tax plan. It's getting a lot of attention. But do you really know what it means, and how do you feel about it? So we have invited on a panel of Republican heavy hitters this morning, all here on their own accord and not representing any of the parties that they work for. Right, Winston?
That's right.
So Winston, of course, Winston Wilkinson, he is with the Governor's Office of Economic Development, but you are here this morning expressing your own opinions and viewpoints. Cherilyn Eagar, also a congressional candidate, and Connor Boyack, and he is the director of the Utah 10th Amendment Center. It's great to have all of you here, first of all. So let me just put this out for you. Raise of hands. Who likes the 999 plan? Okay, that pretty much answers all the questions. Let's talk about why not. Winston, why don't you like this plan?
Well, it's not that I don't like it, I just don't understand it. And you know, as time goes on and they run numbers and models, and then we begin to see the negative and positive points in it, then maybe I can make a decision about it. But at this point, I just don't know. It sounds dangerous right now, but maybe I'll change as the numbers begin to come out.
And Cherilyn, you have to be careful not to endorse anybody at this point, but why don't you get on board with this plan?
Well, first of all, I credit Herman Cain for getting the award for the best branding, and honestly, it's creating this debate now, and I think it's an important discussion that we're having. But I think that the concern is that on the sales tax side, that is a more regressive approach. I like more of a fair tax, flat tax, get rid of the income tax approach, and you can go to fairtax.org to run the numbers on that and see what the benefits would be.
Yeah, and some people argue with the fair tax as well, so that's something that you're considering and that you're on board with.
There are many. The thing that we want to do is to eliminate, phase out the income tax.
All right, so Connor, why won't the 999 plan work in your opinion?
So at the 10th Amendment Center, what we try and do is get the federal government back to its constitutional footprint, right? And my main objection with Cain's 999 plan is that it simply pickpockets us from the right pocket rather than the left. It still takes the same amount of money to the federal government. It doesn't reduce spending. It's simply funding everything that the government does, which is far too bloated in my view, just in a different manner. And so I would rather see taxes shrunk, get rid of spending, get rid of taxes altogether, but don't put anything back in their place.
Because a lot of people will see shrinking income taxes with this 999 plan, but then it's the very low income people that they're going to be paying a lot more with this plan as well.
84%, in fact, of people are going to be paying more taxes with the 999 plan.
All right.
And by the way, I have heard that Herman Cain's long-term goal would be to get to a more fair tax, to be phasing out the income tax.
All right, so why not just phase in with that instead of just give us this 999 as sort of, is it a political slogan, so to speak?
At this point it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's at least getting people talking about the much-needed change that has to take place.
Sure.
So thank you all for stopping by this morning and joining us for this conversation. We sure appreciate you being here, and let's go out to Dawn in the backyard next.